The Rancor's Brothel presents. Dungeon Crawl He slowly takes off like his white gloves, and then he says, "You must be prepared. You must be prepared to meet the master." And you see him pick up the carving knife, and he runs straight at Daniel, screaming. Roll initiatives.
Four.
Doing great so far.
Yeah.
I got a 7 and a 9.
Oh, we're not doing group anymore?
No, we'll just keep doing group. It makes things
okay.
much easier when you have more.
Whichever one has the highest.
9.
Yeah.
9.
Unnatural 20.
Oh, nice.
You picked up a knife, right?
Guess I better look at what I can do unarmed.
Jeff, your unnatural 20 allows Cletus and Stibbins to go first. I do feel compelled to point out that there are 3 servants that seem to be lingering behind him as he jets and sharks his way over there with a knife to take it out on your dwarf buddy.
Mm-hmm. As he moves past Stibbins, Stibbins is going to pull one of the knives that he's concealed and try and backstab him.
I'm okay with that. I like it. I like the idea that, no, I would play up the fact that you've been falsely eating, so you would not be on his radar. Yeah, Go for it.
Stabby.
Do I get a higher than a D20?
Your back. What is your backstab? Don't you already add like 10?
No, I had 3. Is that
It's just when you hit, you do more?
well? No, it's
Yeah, damage with the dagger when the backstab is a D10 versus
Yeah.
a D4 standard.
but catching him off guard.
Yeah. No, I give you a D24.
Okay. I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure how that works.
It's on the crit.
That is 17 and unnatural 20.
Nice. Roll me some damage.
Do I add backstab to the damage?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
That's why we need to play more of this game. I would like to play more of this game.
I agree.
Me too.
I think an actual campaign of this game would
Well,
Fun.
I really want to do
Goblin Markets or
what?
well, wasn't Goblin Markets a campaign?
It's a 4 scenario
okay.
game. No, what is it? Dark Towers over there, and Music of the Spheres is Chaos, and
What are you? What's your alignment?
lawful. Oh, it's an automatic crit.
if you hit, or an automatic crit if you it's an automatic crit if you hit.
In addition, if he hits, the thief automatically achieves a critical hit.
Backstab.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Aim it right between
Yeah,
the
So
ribs.
you're rolling a D10 on the crit table too.
Yeah, the backstab is the bonus to attack.
Right.
And then it's an automatic crit.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're rolling D10 plus the crit.
When the crit is a D10 on table 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the table?
Yep. Crit table 2. All thieves and elves.
12.
12. Holy shit. Foe must succeed at a fort save DC 10 plus PC level, so 11, or faint from the pain. How much damage did you do?
Is that just the roll on the table, or is that the damage too?
I think they're 2 separate rolls. I don't know. I think it's damage and then roll.
So then
One.
you rolled 12 damage and then 1 on the crit table.
Unless there's something else that I'm adding to it, that's only 1 damage.
All right, so you rolled. This is your attack roll, right?
Correct.
And then because you automatically crit
I get to roll on the crit table.
table, so he's got a will save for the pain, but you only did 1 damage.
Correct.
So there's no damage bonuses at all.
No, that's what the
I
crit
don't-
table is supposed to be.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I don't have anything to my strength or anything like that. So,
Normally a knife would be a D3. He's getting a D10. He just rolled like crap.
yep.
gotcha.
Yeah, he just rolled a 10, I assume, with a +2 luck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Stibbins, who has been sitting there very calmly, he's been watching this out of the corner of his eye, and you see him drop, and he takes the knife and he palms it and goes to roll, and he takes the butt end of the knife and just strikes the host in the temple. You hit him hard enough to concuss him. And you see him stumble, and he just kind of shakes and turns and... What do you want? Oh, no, you want a badass token? I'll give you a badass token. I haven't even finished my narration yet. Dick. So, like I said, it happens so fast, you think that a glancing strike that you can knock him out. You hit him in the temple, and you see him just shake his head and look right at you. At which point, he has now changed his target, Jeff. Thank you for that.
It's not Cletus's turn?
Oh, sorry. That's right. I forget you're playing 2 characters each.
Yeah. Cletus is going to clobber the son of a bitch with a bedpost.
Give him his own hospitality.
I'm so tired of handing those back to him.
You're just going to use them on the exact next roll?
Yep.
That's all right. I'm getting ready to use it on mine.
D3.
Yeah.
He's going to try and knock him down. He's going to try and knock him off his feet.
Sure. Sweep the leg.
No, but that's a crit.
Nice. Warrior crit.
Yep. It's D12 on table 3.
Yep.
I got you, man.
11.
Strike hammers foe's belly, causing massive internal bleeding. Unless he receives magical healing, the foe dies in 1d5 hours. Would you like to roll some damage on that bedpost?
What damage am I rolling on the bedpost?
What's a club?
D6?
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Club is D4.
Is it?
The mace is D6.
Okay. D4.
We'll go with slightly lower damage because you rolled a D20 when I don't know if you should necessarily roll a D20.
That's probably
weapon.
true, yeah. I mean, a stick is a stick.
A stick is a stick.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get too cross about a club.
1, 3.
How are we going to treat a pan? The club as well?
Probably, yeah. So you guys find some actual weapons.
I'm sorry, I'm completely spacing. 5 damage.
So
do you add your deed die?
Strength and deed.
Gotcha. Okay. To the damage.
Yep.
So
that's what was confusing me.
Yep.
Stibbins, pommel of the knife, backs him off. He turns and looks at Stibbins, and then here comes Cletus, and Cletus just fucking Hammer and Hank home run, just drills this bedpost square into his solar plexus, and there's all kinds of cracking noises, and he just goes down in a heap, and does not move.
Sweet.
How many times do you think you're gonna do something cool?
No, he critted.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he did crit. That's fair. His 3 buddies though appear just fine.
Yeah.
You see them. They just run arms outstretched. Jeff has made both of his characters very much targets. So I think we'll go. One will go to Stibbins. One will go to Cletus, and one will go to who is fighting Torin.
I was just running my mouth, but
Yeah.
We haven't gotten any further than Jeff at this point.
Right. So one will attack each one of the 3 of you as they run over. You see that the veils or the masks that they're wearing fall away, and their faces are just blank. There's no features. It's just a flat mass of flesh.
So they're just like the putty guys from the very first Eccleston episode of.
Yeah, no, they're like
Who.
plastic men from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go down the line here. So, oh no, it says they pick up silverware. They pick up knives. It's fine. They get a +1 on it because it's a knife. Daniel first. I'm going to imagine a 5 does not stab you
attacking Torin? No.
without your armor on.
Oh, probably still no, but
I know, just reminding everyone that they don't have armor right at this moment.
That is true.
10.
But no, 5 wouldn't hit you either way. Stibbins.
Yeah.
That's 17.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
4 points of damage.
Okay.
That guy comes across with the knife, and now you're doing the sweet. Oh, what is that movie where they knife fight? Always love that movie.
Under Siege?
Yeah.
Under Siege, yeah.
Now you're just like knife fighting each other, and he got a good
I prefer Under Siege 2.
nerd.
Dad was a Seagal guy.
I like both of those movies, but watching Gary Busey fly across the deck of an aircraft carrier when they launch the guns off.
Tommy Lee Jones.
I think it's Gary Busey who goes, doesn't it?
No,
Gary Busey's not in that movie.
I thought it was.
it's Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep.
He's the one who's on the. I thought it was one of the other characters that was on the deck when that gun goes off. Somebody who goes off. He fires off the guns and it bursts his eardrums and he goes flying across the deck. I don't know. It's been like 20 years since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I could be wrong.
For some reason, I thought it was one of his lieutenants and it wasn't
Maybe.
Tommy Lee Jones. But anyway,
Maybe.
great moment in that movie. Jeff, Cletus.
I just prefer Under Siege 2 because of the zoom and enhance of the naked girl at the topless beach.
That's fair.
At the very beginning of the film.
Does a 9 hit?
It does not.
The knives on the other 2 swing harmlessly. Daniel, your turn.
All right. I think I'm going to use Greg first. The plastic dude that's attacking Torin.
Sure.
I'm kind of try to use word of command on him and just tell him to drop.
Okay.
I think I could just do one word, right?
Yeah, you only get one word.
Yeah.
Roll it.
No.
Disapproval goes up.
Yeah, that's twice now.
You got coins, man.
I love clerics. Doo-doo-doo.
Wouldn't have helped a 4.
Oh, well, no. I'm trying to help.
Torin, what would he like to do?
Yeah, Torin is unarmed, so we're gonna try a grapple.
All right.
Yes. How do I do that?
There is a specific table.
I don't know if there are grapples.
It's in the deeds.
Yeah.
It is in the deeds. If you wanted to use the deeds, you could grapple as part of the deeds.
But I have to make an attack to do that, right?
It's just an unarmed
Yeah, you're
attack.
just making an
okay.
unarmed attack, and
Yep.
your mighty deed is the grapple.
So I'd have to roll a 3 on that.
Correct.
All right, I'll look it up here.
So you could basically say, I'm attempting to grapple him and toss him through the table, or throw him into the wall, or something. You know what I
Pin
mean?
him to the ground or something like that.
Yeah. Put him in the chicken wing.
Yeah, I'm just
Rock bottom him through the chair.
grapple him and try to like
Power bomb.
get his arm pinned when it has his knife.
Sure.
All right, so unarmed attack and
The deed die.
deed die.
So you need a 3 on the deed die.
Got a 1 on the deed die.
Okay. But what's your total hit in terms of the AC?
I'm just adding my strength for an unarmed. So it's 7.
Strength plus deed.
No, the deed was only 1. No, you attempt.
Still counts towards the
It does,
roll.
yeah. But
So 8 total.
you go to grab a hold of him, and it's surprisingly slippery for whatever reason. Not able to get a hold of him. Schroeder,
Greasy.
they're covered in duck fat. Schroeder ditching 3 luck tokens because he's convinced he's going to roll a 1.
We're
No,
casting.
he's convinced I'm going to roll a 1.
I would be very convinced of that.
Typically, I only roll 2 numbers, 1s and 100s.
My man, only person I know that's ever set off a nuclear weapon in a game.
Yep.
He might have killed an elder god though.
Hey, 17 plus 5. It's going to give me 22. The caster throws 1d4 plus 2 missiles. That will do damage equal to 1d6 plus caster level. Each missile can be aimed at a separate target in which the caster has line of sight. The missiles never miss, though they may be blocked by certain magic. Okay, so 1d4
plus 2.
Plus 2. 4. So 6 missiles.
6 missiles, 2 each,
Yep.
and they do how much damage?
1d6 plus caster level. So 1d6 plus 1.
Yep.
So I'll have to.
How are you splitting them up?
I'm just gonna go 2 each probably because I got
Probably
6
gotta
of them.
roll those 2 at a time.
Yeah, I'll just grab them. I only have 5, so. So yeah, first one. It's gonna be 10 damage because it's 8 plus 2. So 10 damage to the first one.
So you pew, and 2 missiles go off, and blam, that one gets blasted in the chest, and like an 80s action movie goes flying over the table into the wall and hits the wall and slumps against it.
Second one only takes 5 damage.
You see him get blasted. He gets thrown back against the table and bangs his head and slumps to the ground.
And last one takes 12 damage.
He goes court to court. You send him long ways across the table, knocks off all kinds of things, gets dragged through the table, and he crunches. They all stop moving.
And you see Alduin go.
I'll take your luck tokens.
Aha!
You got to use them before Jeff lost them. Okay.
It's useful. Hey,
Yeah.
it's
Hey.
the only one I get.
So there you go.
Apparently they weren't up for conversation.
Doesn't seem like it.
I'm going to search the host.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Keys.
You do not find any keys.
Anything else on him?
No, actually, he's got nothing in his pockets, nothing, whatever.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a knife from the table and cut his head off.
Okay. So who's doing that?
Derek.
Okay. Derek goes over and starts to get a knife. Jeff is it Stibbins who's looking at the body? You start to put your hands on him, you pat, you're searching in the pockets, whatever. He suddenly starts breathing. Like he definitely was not breathing. He suddenly starts breathing.
Okay.
Derek continues.
Derek grabs a knife and comes over and acts like he's going to cut that guy's head off.
Do it quick.
I don't know shit about magic. Maybe taking his head off makes it go away.
Yeah.
All right, you very gristly begin to cut. Daniel, Torin and Gregory look up and you see where like his missiles, probably the first one killed those guys. The second one just did damage, just broke bones, snapped them, twisted them into odd angles. You begin to hear a soft popping sound as it looks like the one across the way, its spine is starting to realign in the proper way. And it's like starting to shrug as if it's attempting to stand.
We have nothing on us, don't we?
Was there any source of fire in here
Let me look. I don't think so.
other than candles?
We can go look in the pantry. There is that separate pantry
Is
entrance.
there a tablecloth on the table?
There's probably a tablecloth left.
Yeah, we're putting some of these things in a freaking tablecloth.
I'm just tying them up.
You do not see any source of fire.
Okay.
You also do not see a pantry door.
Yeah, Torin is proceeding to try to pull the tablecloth off the table.
Yeah. Big, loud, clattering bang.
I think, yep. Let's get these guys in here and tie them up before they reanimate or whatever the hell that they're doing.
Okay.
This is two of you are holding them around, beheading them. 4 others are like roping the bodies up. They definitely are breathing as you approach them. As you start to grab them, the faces turn towards you.
I was going to say,
Cletus, we need your bedpost.
just
He's
tighten
just
it like a
bonking
tourniquet so that they can't fucking take it off.
You do sever the head, and the body continues to breathe.
I just stick my thumb in the hole. Like,
At least he
suffocate you, you son of a bitch.
doesn't have a mouth to take his little bitty piece of meat off it and put it in. Stupid.
At the risk of being massively sued by Disney, not only for our name, I like the idea that at this point, as you're trying to tie them up and you're trying to do all this, like they just break out into the second half of the song where it's like, be our guest.
Stop there.
Be. Like it's just like clearly he that severed head begins talking.
I'll put it on the table and just pin it with a knife through the mouth straight into the ground, into the top table. Finish what you're doing. We probably ought to keep moving.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, as you've tied them up, it's like tying cats' tails together. Like they're fighting. They'll get out of it eventually.
that's fine. Let's just leave.
Or do we bring his head? And be
I was going to say, take the head with us.
yeah.
You have a head.
What's it saying?
I don't know. I'm trying to decide how much, as much as I wanted to sing Be Our Guest, I also think that like it probably wouldn't be able to say anything, no longer being attached to like lungs. So I'm trying to decide if it's creepier if it just goes as it's attempting to talk. Whatever is creepiest option in your mind, Jeff.
I just envisioned the head like turning into the skull of the guy from Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah.
No, I think the fact that there's absolutely no way he should be talking and he is would be way more creepy.
Yes. Welcome, guests. We are happy to feed you. Merely await the master's return. He will be here at any time. Put your weapons in the garderobe. Join us for dinner. He continues on his somewhat mechanical rant.
Okay.
Back past the brazier hallway.
Yeah.
Cool.
We brought the head with
Sweet.
us.
I set the head in one of the braziers.
Yeah, you could do that. Okay.
Does it continue to try to talk while in the fire?
It does.
Sweet.
So now we've got to smell that.
Now the hallway will disappear. It's okay.
Is it burning?
Not really.
Didn't think so.
With shut. Back down this hallway. There's no other doors out of it or anything. Okay. Yep. Back to the T.
You're right. There is a T coming up in the map. To the left, you see a sloped corridor that seemingly rises above the highest point of the manse. And to your right, you see that hallway, that vaulted hall lined with suits of plate for giants holding halberds.
I don't like the weird slanty place. Let's not do that.
It definitely goes up more than one story.
Okay. So I guess we're going in with the suits of armor.
Yes, I'd much rather fight giants than do the slanty hallway.
Just die as kebabs on halberds.
As you walk past, somewhat probably terrifyingly, past these giant suits of armor with halberds, you see a room with racks of weapons and abandoned equipment stored against the far wall of this stone chamber. One of the discarded packs has a strange glow, as if full of smoldering coals. Looking up at the ceiling, you see 4 stone faces with grotesquely large noses and leering mouths. Each face is crowned with a garland of carved flowers.
Oh, flowers.
Rain.
Then the flowers. knows what comes after.
I'll look in the pack.
You're going in there? That's way too easy.
And where? In the separate room?
I thought he said the packs and stuff were across the room.
Correct. They're on the far side of the wall.
Oh, okay. Where else are we going to go?
Okay.
Just gonna turn around and walk back the same way we came?
That is an option.
Oh, did you make it seem like we have to walk past?
4 faces that are glaring at you from the ceiling.
Oh,
And 4 suits of armor.
Didn't take super well. Let me try. You may have to look at both images, but you can see the 4 faces, I think.
Oh, yeah, those are gosh, creepy.
Those are in the ceiling?
Correct.
did you say they're goblin-esque? Or is that just my own mind?
No, they are very definitely goblin-esque. Or just fugly halflings.
Two of you had pole arms, right?
At one point, yes.
You do see 2 pole arms over there, leaning up against the wall, and a couple of what probably look like somewhat familiar packs.
Okay.
But there's piles of gear over there.
And these are actual heads hanging from the ceiling?
They're sort of like stone. What's the word that I want to use? Sort of like freezes. Like they're extruding from the ceiling.
Gotcha. They're not like physical.
No, they're like I think freeze is the word that I want to use, right? Like they're etched into the wall, but it's definitely a 3D effect.
Got you.
But they
So
go,
it's like sculpture coming out of the wall?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you would think about that, like you see a decorative door on
Like gargoyles.
Right, yeah. The only thing about gargoyles is I always think about them being crafted separately. They're not crafted separately. They're worked into, like, you ever see like in Italy where they have the mouths and like the mouths are shooting water out of them or whatever, like that. Yeah. They're not like separate statues.
Gotcha. But besides those, there's like nothing adorning the walls.
As you look around,
Have we already walked past the armor?
yeah, at this point you've walked past the armor and are kind of a gateway into another room.
Got you.
Pardon me.
You do notice as you're looking around that there is a discarded leather satchel monogrammed with a double M, sort of like tucked right around the corner.
I will definitely check that.
The inside are 8 corked ampules filled with clear liquid labeled in a crabbed script. Several of them have been partially used, as not all of them are to the full level. There are partials.
What do they say on them?
Extract of lavender, essence of snowflakes, dew of the harvest moon, distillation of lichen, flowers of noontide, ferret musk, drops of vernal rain, effusion of orphan tears.
You're probably going to have to repeat those, but I know that some of those were referred to seasons, some of them referred to days or time of day.
Extract of lavender, essence of snowflakes,
It's just water.
dew of the harvest moon, distillation of lichen, flowers of noontide, ferret musk, drops of vernal rain, effusion of orphan tears.
Rain, then flowers. What comes next? This is in text that anybody can read. Should check and see if there's any hidden ink on those as well. Since we know this is the guy who used it before, potentially.
Okay, we have a winter. We have an autumn. We have a spring.
So my first thought though was it
Rain.
infernal rain? It's literally on your list. It's the seventh
vernal
one
rain.
down. Vernal rain. There's 2 different flowers.
There's lavender. That's the only flower. Lichen is
Noontime
like-
flower. What's the noontime one?
Oh, flowers of noontime. Sorry.
We're gonna check the bottles see if there's any invisible ink on them as well.
No.
Okay. You said there was a pack that looked like it had something smoldering in it.
Yes.
I'll check that.
Well, you would have to go past these statues because they're all on the far side of the room.
Okay.
Well, let's go. I'll go with you. I gotta get my
Yeah.
hammer back.
No,
I've got an empty backpack. I'm gonna throw it across the room first to see if anything happens.
Hallway, statues. Here's kind of like the faces in the ceiling, right? And then stuff.
Okay.
So you'd have to go past these faces.
Gotcha.
I'm chucking a pack out in the middle of the room. See if something happens to it.
Pack of.
Just bag. I have an empty backpack.
Where'd you get an empty backpack from?
I've had it from the beginning of the game.
All
it's
your
on the
shit
other
was
side of the
Ah,
room.
shit. I didn't think about that. Fuck. I'm going to piss as
I'm
hard
gonna-
as I can out into the center of the room.
I'm going to take the satchel that the bottles were in, and I'll check that out into the room.
Okay.
That works.
As you throw the satchel, it tumbles across the room. You probably can't. It's like 60 feet over to that stuff, so you probably can't hurl a pack quite that far, but it stumbles past a few of the faces, bounces, rolls, comes to a rest like middle of the room.
Okay.
Nothing happens.
Cletus is going for a polearm.
Okay, so Cletus starts walking across. As he walks past the first face in the ceiling, you hear this noise from the ceiling as seemingly the giant nostril visage inhales. And it inhales as he approaches and then exhales quickly, and gas comes pouring out of its mouth, sort of filling a 10 by 10 space. It burns Cletus for 3 points of damage.
Okay.
Does he retreat back the way he came, or does he keep going? Yeah. So yeah, it's sort of very cartoonishly, very Joker gas-ish, just sort of filters in the room. And kind of within that space, D6 point of damage.
Okay. Does it clear out?
It does. After a minute, it kind of settles down to the ground. And
can the people who are observing see kind of where it's at in the room?
Yeah, it kind of fills. I think I drew the room like a little too wide for you guys. It is more of it is more narrow. So like you can't like, it doesn't feel a 10 by 10 space and you could like sneak around the edges. You don't feel like. It does sort of feel like a gauntlet of trap.
Right. So as we're approaching, they're kind of in a line. Which one are we coming to first?
I believe the top one.
The top one.
Can you give me, what's the one that had the rain?
Yeah, the vernal rain.
Let me see that bottle.
Yep.
All right.
Gregory is going to take some of that and
that is the drops of vernal rain.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so he takes some drops of vernal rain and kind of claps it around his neck, right? What next?
I am going to try the same thing Cletus did.
Okay, you see him walk over. As weird as it's like, your clothes feel uncomfortable, feel a little squishy. But as you walk over there, the nose goes, and it sort of like, where does it say? I want to make sure I don't miss a description from the writer.
Skin's gonna melt it off.
It sort of it takes a big sniff and then just kind of sighs contentedly.
Okay.
And no gas. But your clothes feel, you ever like go swimming and then put your clothes on? Like things are just uncomfortably wet and chafy? Mm-hmm. It's weird.
I didn't put that much on. All right.
Stibbins will step up with him. Does it?
I would say sure.
Okay. Stibbins will splash on some of the flowers of noontime and step forward to the next one.
Okay. As you tap on the flowers of noontide, you suddenly see daisies, daffodils, tulips like spontaneously sprout from your flesh.
Oh, sweet.
But you step up to the next one and it's sort of.
You know what? I'm okay with soggy clothes. I'm just fine.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me how long it's going to last.
I think somebody should try the Dew of the Harvest Moon next.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because the next face looks like it has wheat around its head.
Oh, spring, summer, fall.
Autumn, and then snowflakes on the last one.
Yeah, Derek will put Harvest Moon and step next.
As he begins to dab this on his skin, you see his ears transform into leaves. But again, it sniffs and seems fine. Although you are noticing that the in passing the first one, it seems to sort of as if this doesn't appease them for long.
Got ya. Okay.
So the next person should be putting on the snowflakes and going.
Torin will grab the snowflakes.
Your hair and eyelashes turn frosty white, which, considering some of the things that happen with these, not that bad.
Yeah.
I can live with it.
Yeah.
Especially because it's not going to apply to us. But take a guess how long this happens, how long this effect lasts.
Topical magic ointments. Couple days.
A season?
I'll give.
That's a laugh.
It's not that good of a laugh. D4 weeks.
A season.
Yes, you are able to get across. You obviously can work your way back, so we won't have to necessarily solve that puzzle that way. But at least one character, you can move over there and get it figured out. We'll go from there. You've solved the puzzle. So yeah, you see piles of packs. You all can re-equip yourself. Every single item that was taken off of you is here.
Yes.
Okay, what's here that wasn't ours? Tons?
The smoldering bag.
Most things look like antiques and are rusty from long decades of neglect. The source of the glow is an iron lantern containing a bright blue flame. There it is.
Would I know that as the Enduring Light?
Yes.
Sweet.
Okay, throwing that in the backpack that I have back now.
It is very much a magic item
Now we just
that will
gotta
help you
figure
on
out
your quest.
the way out of this fun house.
Anything that is automatically like, oh, this is what this thing does. This is how we could use it to help us.
Not necessarily, no. Okay. You also can get back out of that room if you want.
Yeah. You said the name of it was what?
The Enduring Light.
Enduring Light.
The Aurelian Bridle.
I found that character sheet. It's not written on there.
Well,
Shocker.
We'll go ahead and write it on there, Jeff.
Perhaps maybe useful in a series of connected adventures.
Yeah. I was mowing my yard at lunch and he sent that and I was listening to a podcast and I was like, I'm pretty sure it was Tom. And then I just flipped over and I was like, yep, it's the Aurelian Bride. That's when I texted back. Cool. Is there anything else worthwhile in this room?
For the
Not
record,
really.
it was Rufus,
What was Rufus?
the warrior that I had.
Oh, it was Tom that got it.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Tom that crit the sling into douchebag's face that guitar slid and caught the Aurelian Bridle.
Yeah, that sounds about accurate.
It's 100% accurate.
Well, now I'm just confused.
But
We'll figure it out.
So yeah, not a lot else that's useful.
Cool.
Excuse me.
So by not a lot else, there is something.
No, they're rusted weapons. If you'd like to take other rusted weapons and equipment, you could.
Okay, cool.
But most of this stuff has sat here for a significant period of time.
Cool. Let's
Head back out.
move on.
Okay.
You think walking with that lantern out would like lead the way?
That's what I'm kind of wondering.
Good if you want.
Yep.
Okay.
It reminds me, I'm thinking of a lot of the Poe lantern from Ocarina of Time. It's kind of what I'm envisioning, if anyone
Got the
is
wispy
curious.
thing.
Yeah. As you head back...
Never played a Zelda game.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I've watched that one played some, but that was 64, right?
Yeah. You see a long corridor containing portraits of well-dressed personages. You also see a mirror-lined hall that casts no reflections of the viewer.
We're all vampires.
Probably are by this point.
Let me see that fucking. We're all. I just see Cletus with the fucking staking people with the.
As far as we know, we've been in here for 40 years.
Yeah.
Which way would you like to go?
That's not what I wanted to do.
Okay, no, that still doesn't make any sense. For some reason, I was thinking one of those said something about mirrors.
I did realize that we did have some information in the about killing parts of the body, which we did not utilize while we were chopping people to death.
Yeah.
Which way you want to go?
What's before us?
You see portraits one way and mirrors that cast no reflection the other way.
Mirrors.
Okay. You walk down a long hallway full of uncomfortable, blacked out mirrors. And the passageway ends with in a sealed door with a rose-tinted mirror in its center. So sort of like a rose-tinted glass that is semi-reflective. So you're seeing yourself in like Daredevil.
So we are seeing ourselves in this one.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit like sort of like a translucent glass. It's not a mirror. It's not completely reflective, but you are. Yeah.
I'm gonna raise my hand. I raise my hand.
Well, the sort of semi-shadow version of you kind of raises its hand. Yeah.
Hold up the lantern.
You hold up the lantern. It doesn't do much to illuminate the mirror.
Okay.
Jarek just touches the mirror.
Nothing happens.
No other doors or anything. Just this mirror.
No, although the mirror is hung in such a way that like
It looks like a door.
it could be a door. Yes. Center of the hall, 7 or 8 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Like yeah.
Torin's gonna go check the structural integrity behind that mirror.
I mean,
It does not come off. It does not come off the wall.
is secret door pinging?
Yes, I would say you know that it is a secret door.
Oh, so I just know it is a secret door. I don't.
Yeah,
Get.
you know, you're like, yeah, there's something on the other side. How you get there, you don't know. Jeff, D20 roll.
Crit.
It's not the first time you've seen red glass.
I was gonna say that. The glasses.
Okay.
There's rose-colored glasses in the
You're right. Do we have that?
preparedness roll.
Yes, we do.
Luck roll. Otherwise, good luck finding the bedroom again.
Yep.
We just passed that hallway.
That's a pass.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure when you go back, it'll definitely be there.
Well, that may not be accurate, but
Yeah, you can pull out the lorgnette.
Oh, the lorgnette was the rose-colored.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll hold them up to my eyes.
When you hold it up to your eyes, you see a room beyond that. It's like the red cancels out the red, and you can see that it's an archway.
I would like to remind everyone that the journal says Ambrose trapped in shadows forever.
Yeah.
I'll reach out. Do I still feel the mirror?
So you all see, I assume it's Stibbins.
Yeah.
Hold up
Of course, it's fucking Stibbins.
this lorgnette, and he's like looking, and you see him sort of like, he's like, the hell? And he's kind of like pawing in his hand like somebody in VR. And as you guys are watching, Stibbins wouldn't necessarily notice this, but the mirror starts to become like translucent. And at the same time, the lorgnettes start to get darker until Jeff's like, what the hell? And you pull it away because now they're completely black and you can't see them anymore. But at this point, there's no longer a mirror. It is an archway into the next space.
Oh, nice.
I know he's not a halfling, but I still think of him as a halfling.
Yeah.
Beyond the doorway is a dark room illuminated by a shallow, glowing pool in its center. Surrounding the pool at each cardinal point are 4 wells, each filled with a different colored liquid: white, emerald, crimson, and gold. Next to the doorway is an alcove where 4 lead coins have been placed.
Life in green well followed by the wrong coin. Ambrose now trapped forever in the trapped in shadows forever. Water to clog the sand. Anything else? He said gold, emerald,
crimson, and white.
And we have 4 coins.
Yeah. What do the coins look like? Okay.
It's useful. So 1 central pool with 4 sort of wells around the sides there at the cardinal directions. When you look at the coins, each has been stamped with a different word. It's basically a plain lead coin. Birth, life, twilight, death.
Okay.
Is what's stamped on the coins.
So the note said life in green.
says life in green well followed by the wrong coin. Ambrose now trapped in shadows forever.
Life, death, what? I'm sorry.
Birth, life, twilight, death.
Okay.
And then that's kind of a clear pool in the middle.
Yep.
Sort of a reflecting pool, you know.
So I'm thinking that maybe they just go clockwise. So if life goes into green, birth is the one before that on the left, and twilight would be the one on the right, and then death is the one at the bottom.
No, the one at the bottom is emerald, which is green.
Oh, that was like
gold is the top.
So vice versa then.
And I think you went counterclockwise, not clockwise.
So if we put the life in the bottom and then twilight in the
what is that one?
Gold, white, crimson.
Crimson.
I mean, it's still seasons.
The colors?
Yeah. Spring, summer, autumn, winter.
So if spring is life, summer is...
That doesn't work with us.
It doesn't.
You'd have
spring
to
would
do
be birth.
Yeah.
Birth, life, twilight, death.
Death would be white.
Yeah.
Twilight's gold. Golden years. That makes sense.
I mean, it's gold like the leaves changing.
Leaves changing gold.
Yeah.
Well, let's try
What do you
it.
think?
Let's toss a birth coin into the emerald pool.
No, life in green well, which is emerald.
Followed by
the wrong coin.
Well, obviously, whatever they did didn't work.
But they were right about the other.
Are there any other coins in the wells?
You're looking in the 4 colored wells.
Yep. Or the center one.
Or the center one. When you look in the 4 other wells, they seem to just... You ever seen like an infinity pool? You know what I mean? It just goes down and the color just gets darker and darker and darker until you see black somewhere beyond.
So can't see anything.
The pool in the center appears to be clear. Would you like to look into it?
Yes.
Who's looking into it?
Greg.
Greg. Can you roll me a will save, Greg?
A 12.
Excellent. Would you also roll me a D3?
2.
Okay. Greg peers down and sees a reflecting pool. And at first he sees his reflection rippling in the water, right? But then Greg sees stars. And in the stars, Greg sees the void. And beyond the void, he sees the birth of a galaxy, which he doesn't even know what a galaxy is, but he sees the birth of it. He sees it grow. He sees it live. He sees it die. He sees it feed other stars. He watches eons pass. In a moment, he sees the drop of water take eons to fall. He now no longer understands what is up and what is down. The clock ticks backwards. The crow caws in at night, whereas the rooster no longer caws at all. Blood runs upward as the frog falls downward, and scorpions explode from the nun's vagina. You lose 2 points permanently of personality.
Oh shit.
But you gain 1 of intelligence because you have stared into the cosmos, and the cosmos has stared back.
It's not what you want as a cleric.
not ideal for a cleric to lose 2 points in which he casts on.
I mean, honestly, I think that would make me more of a person, but it's just my opinion, you know.
You now have serious questions of whether or not Cthulhu is the one true god. You all just see him just like stare down into this pool and like he just keeps staring. And then eventually he starts screaming and just doesn't stop screaming.
I got them to laugh. That's worth a point, right? Should have used your luck on that roll, killer.
I give Daniel one for staring at the shiny.
I'm gonna
Didn't
need
make it to you.
Does that change your ability modifier? Because I think it might. Okay.
Yes, it did.
Just checking. Just checking. You're an even better cleric now.
It went from +1 to 0.
Ooh.
All right.
Which one you want to do?
So are we believing them that the right coin was life in the green well?
Sure.
Which is what they said. And then they said wrong coin after. Life in Greenwell, followed by the wrong coin. Ambrose now trapped in shadows forever.
What's it say before that? Anything useful?
Destroy the parts of the body, heart, eyes, lungs. Orb is unbearably hot, must find another way to quench. Life in Greenwell, followed by the wrong coin. Ambrose now trapped in shadows forever. Water to clog the sand. Anything else?
I've seen no sand in this room. Just the birth of the universe.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there are multiple rooms associated with this one.
My God, it's full of stars.
What do you think?
And the coins are birth, life, twilight, death.
Correct.
So what are we doing?
Well, they say life is green, right?
He's thinking about this real hard. I can smell it from here.
Yeah, but the problem is I don't.
You can't follow the pattern if you toss life into the green well.
That's assuming that the pattern is in a circle. I would be okay with gold being twilight, but the birth and death is what throws me. Because in my mind,
I'd say birth is probably crimson.
well, I could see or death being crimson, blood, either one.
Yeah. I would associate white. Well, white light could be either one too.
Yeah, that's why.
Light of awakening or
Right.
the white light at the end of the tunnel.
That's why I'm kind of like.
Do we think that life belongs in the emerald well, according to what the note said?
From the note, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's giving us one of the 4, and that whatever they did after was wrong. They didn't tell us what they did after.
Or you should do the wrong thing next.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I am going to, just because I figured I'd let it play out for a little bit, I do think that this is a typo.
Okay. What do you think's typo?
I think it should say life in gold. Well, not green.
Because green's not one of the wells.
Emerald is, not green. Well, that fucks me up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then that makes me think life in green, or life in gold, twilight in white, death in emerald, and birth in crimson.
Why?
Going in a counterclockwise chronological order? No, clockwise.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Plus, with the colors, I would go white with twilight.
But following the pattern of seasons, twilight would fall to fall. And following the colors of seasons, that would be gold.
But he just said life in gold.
Or he's just fucking you.
Fuck it. Derek takes the coins and puts life in gold.
Okay. So as you drop life in the gold, the water goes clear. It is no longer gold.
Okay.
You begin to hear some noises from the hallway. So how about we get some initiatives? So a lot of this is going to come down to the next little bit, I think. Okay. What we got?
We're just doing 1.
11.
Yeah. Schroeder's on 11.
10.
Daniel's on 10.
13.
Jeff is on 13. Okay, Jeff, you're beginning to hear some skittering noises in the hallway. He's dropped the life coin. It has fallen in the gold well, and it has disappeared in its golden depths. The water is now clear. It is your character's actions.
All I can think is, oh God, it's the vagina scorpions.
Hey, if anyone, no, he doesn't get why that's funny. If anyone would like to write in to Jeff and tell him why that's funny, because I made a known little personal joke there. It's fantastic. Someone, please. I'm gonna have to do that more often. Anyway.
Okay.
Is Gregory in his right mind to do anything except...
No, he's good. He can act.
Okay.
He's seen the cosmos now, though. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows what lies beyond the veil. There's more than just this pale blue dot in the infinite void.
Stibbins is going to pull his bow and ready to shoot at whatever's coming down the hallway.
Oh, yeah, we got our stuff back.
Yeah.
Torrin's pulling his bow, too.
Yep. So Stibbins is readying an attack. Cletus?
Stibbins will hide.
Oh, Stibbins will hide.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I didn't think about that.
That makes sense.
Do I roll now or what do I do?
Sure. Yeah, let's just roll your hide. See how you do.
19.
19's a real good hide. Stibbins has vanished. Where'd he go?
He just doesn't move. He puts his hands up and just stops moving. He's like, they can't see me if I don't move.
Better not come in here. We got a thief, and I don't even know where he is.
Somehow Stibbins now moves at a different frame rate than the rest of you. He lines up different.
It's just pixelated every time he moves.
Schroeder.
Alden would pull his short bow.
Okay, he's got a short bow.
I think Derek is going to. I think I keep going into Wells. Twilight into the white one.
So you're dropping Twilight into the white.
Yep.
You release the Twilight coin. You see him look over. Derek looks over, expecting to see the pool go clear. It goes inky black, and all of a sudden, a gnarled two-fingered, one-thumbed arm
Reflex save?
shoots up and grabs him by the throat and pulls him into the well.
Fuck.
So he's in the well. Daniel, you're 2 characters.
Here's the TPK. We're just fucking throwing coins.
Torin is readying his longbow,
Sure.
and Gregory
As I get
is.
pulled in, I go, it's the other way.
You got the coins on you, damn it!
Not all of them.
No, you've dropped 2.
I fucked up. So you were readying a bow and
And Gregory's going to try to run over and grab him before he gets sucked into oblivion.
you run over there. He's gone.
Gone.
Like the water is still.
I'm just going to do one.
He's like,
Is it still black?
It is still black at this point. You all see a bunch of
Well, I never got to use my sword and board.
you all see the noise is a weird sort of like you can't describe it. It's sort of a thump, like an appearing noise. And as you're watching the hallway, you see what looks like in stop motion. You ever see like something that takes 3 weeks, but they show it to you in 30 seconds to show like how a flower blooms, right? Mm-hmm. You see all these fungi popping up from the floor and running at you. They move real fucking fast. So they're in the room and on you as a swarm. They are nasty little bastards.
I don't think our bows are going to be much use here.
So we'll attack down the line. So you've got one character. Are they big enough to be in this room? Yeah, they basically fill the room. There are fungi everywhere, biting, scratching, screaming, running all over you. So we'll just go down the road. Let me know if I hit. So Schroeder, that didn't hit. I can tell you that for sure. Daniel, first character, a 15 probably hits.
Yes.
Okay. Second character, that doesn't hit. Jeff, first character, a 20 probably hits. And second character,
Even the hidden one?
ooh, hidden's a good call. Let me look because they are a swarm, and I don't know if I don't know if you can hide from a swarm.
Just if
He
not,
didn't hit,
it's
he
fine.
didn't, he didn't hit anyway. 1 hit point of damage if you got hit,
Yep.
and I need you to make fort saves.
18.
That saves.
15.
That saves. You're both good. Well, they feel like you narrowly missed something terrible. To those watching, the well becomes white again, and you hear pink, pink, pink over there on the stand as the 3 coins have reappeared. Jeff, it's your turn.
Just the 3?
Correct.
Okay.
These things are everywhere. It's like a swarm of fungus people.
Okay. Can we move around?
You can, but they're just they're thick as thieves, flying, biting, whatever.
Okay.
They do have a fly speed. I don't know how fungi fly, but they are definitely flying.
Stibbins is going to go for the coins.
Okay.
Pardon me.
And what would Stibbins like to do?
How far away is the pedestal or the thing with the coins to the pools?
You could probably make it to one pool.
I don't want to move over to it.
Oh,
You got
okay.
Twilight.
They're
The white pool,
15 feet away.
I'm going to chuck a coin at the pool.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, the death pool or the death coin
Okay, you're gonna throw the death coin where?
at the white.
At the white pool. Okay. Yeah, I like that. Make me a roll. Some sort of dex-based roll.
Yeah,
Needs to be a pretty decent roll.
it's 14.
I don't know if that's decent enough. You throw and you see him hit the rim and it sort of pinks and drops beside it. But the death coin is now sitting there right beside you. Cletus.
Hacky sacked it, right it back in.
Cletus' turn.
Oh shit, Cletus.
Cletus is your character, Jeff.
He was just role
Man.
playing the character.
Cletus is
He's
gonna
still holding that bedpost, even though he's got his pole arm. He's still holding that bedpost. He's like, there's something coming as these things are just biting the shit out of him.
Cletus is gonna try and swat at
There's something
the
coming.
fungus.
Yep, go right ahead.
Oh, he's gonna try and fight defensively.
I think that's fair. Swat in front of his face.
Yep, didn't make it. That's a 13.
A 13 will hit. Roll me some damage.
There. 5 damage.
Okay. You are banging and swatting, and you knock some of the fungi out of the way, but as is custom in D&D games, it's not exactly like a swarm is done really, really well from bludgeoning. But you do some damage. Schroeder.
I think Alduin is going to make a move for the coin.
Which coin?
The death coin that's near the...
Sure.
And he's just going to like pick it up and drop as he keeps running.
Okay. So he has no idea what happens when he does that because he's running away.
He's just trying not to get sucked in if it's wrong.
I need a strength check. Not from Alduin.
From Derek?
Yep.
Our mighty deeds are not a part... The deed dice is not a part of a strength check, is it?
No, not unless it's an attack.
Okay. 19. Actually 20, because I rolled a 19 on the die.
Okay. You feel these hands. I always love the scene from Nightmare on Elm Street where she gets yanked down into the pool or into the tub. Yeah, that's such a beautifully shot scene. Yeah. But like,
it really fucked with me when I was a kid.
That's
because I like taking baths, so it ruined. I was way too young.
That's kind of exactly what happened. He just got yanked in, and as he got yanked in, he feels things just pulling him down, hands just pulling him down, and he just sort of reaches out, even though the walls are smooth, and kind of grips and just pulls, and like a bobber comes shooting up out of the well and grabs the side, sort of, and pulls himself up and over and flops onto the ground, heaving. The water was clear.
Oh, the coin made it clear.
You presume.
Gotcha.
Daniel.
Okay.
So he's just like prone.
Yeah, no, your action was to escape. Otherwise, you would have started taking stamina loss from drowning.
Gotcha.
And it was not small stamina loss.
Okay.
There's a reason why Ambrose is no longer around. That kind of numbers, it doesn't take long to die.
Yeah.
All right, 2 coins left.
We have Birth and Twilight left, and we have the Emerald and the Crimson Wells.
No, Birth has got to be Emerald then.
I would think so.
Yeah. I'll go for that coin.
Sure. You have the birth coin and you're yeeting it in the emerald.
Dropping it in the emerald well.
Okay. You see it sinks in there and the water slowly starts to turn clear. I don't know which one of your characters did it, but it's the other character's turn.
Yep. And we'll take the last coin to the other well if I can get to it. Gregory was actually standing by the white well, so...
You probably can't quite make it.
Okay.
Yeah, the emerald is closer. The crimson is like the farthest away from the door. So the swarm can now attack each of you. So we'll just go down the row. Schroeder, 15.
Which one?
Whichever one you want to count as number 1.
Okay, we'll do Derek, and that's 15 is my armor class.
Okay, so hit. That's fail. Is a 10 hit your first character?
No.
Okay, that doesn't either. Nope. 8 hit?
Nope.
Okay, so the only hit is over here. 1 hit, a point of damage, and a fort save.
I fumbled the fort save.
Anybody have any coins left?
Like fumble?
Yeah.
Fleeting luck is gone. He rolled the 1. 4 fleeting luck tokens back to me.
Sorry, guys.
So does he have to do a table for that?
For that fumble, no.
No, I don't think so. I'm just glad it wasn't me.
It makes sense because he was like prone on the ground after coming out of the well.
Your body goes rigid. You have been immobilized. Jeff, back to the top of the round.
Just having a bad day.
He's like, oh, thank God. I've escaped well. What the fuck are these things?
Stibbins is going to grab for the last coin and head for the pool.
Sure.
Drop
Toss
it in.
All right. The water goes clear.
Mm-hmm.
The sort of light in the center pool goes out, and you feel a earthquakey rumbling from beneath you. It's your other character's turn.
Cletus is just going to keep swinging.
I think that's an excellent idea. Smash them fungis.
20.
20 will hit. Give me some of that damage.
12 damage.
Oh, wow. Nice. He now has kind of gotten the idea that these are like, he's bopping them on the head, running around, just smashing the shit out of them. Much better. The swarm has thinned. It is not gone.
Oh, good.
Schroeder.
So Derek is immobilized. Mm-hmm. Does he have any kind of save on his turn or no?
Yes. He make me another fort save.
Nat 20.
All right. You get up before it starts getting bad. You do sort of save at the end of your turn and you're brushing them off, but you realize that you were immobilized. They were more attracted to you, like they were starting to cover you.
Got ya.
So you're able to get up and fight that off. Alduin.
And I guess he'll fire his short bow.
Sure. Why not? Shoot it into the swarm.
Yep. And that is... bows, are they +1 from agility to attack rolls?
Yeah.
So it's a 12.
You are unable to hit much of the swarm, unfortunately. Daniel, your characters.
Okay. So other than the rumbling beneath us, nothing's changed in the room.
The center pool has, where it was once like iridescent and glowing, is no longer.
Is it still full of water?
It is. But it no longer has that ethereal, see beyond the stars sort of quality that it did have.
The swarm is getting smaller, though, as we fight it.
Yes. No. Old Cletus has done some work womping on mushroom
On
creatures.
Toad.
Okay. No, we'll swing at it, too. Torin had his bow out, so he'll shoot that off.
Water to clog the sand. Anything else? ? I don't know if that has to do with this room or not.
I haven't seen any sand.
Or the water from this could cool whatever that orb is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a miss.
It's less than 12. You're not hitting anything.
Yeah, it's at 8.
An 8 does not hit.
And then Greg will swing his mace.
Swat dem bugs.
14?
14 will hit.
Nice.
Deal me some damage.
4.
Nice. Don't ask me how, but somehow between the two of you, you're able to smash all the bugs. I never understand how swarms work. They have silly rules. But you have successfully done the half damage that you needed to do to defeat a swarm. Congrats.
Yay.
Our title track, Bustin' Loose with Lead, is used under Creative Commons Attribution 4 International License and was produced by Jason Shaw at Audionautics.com. Like what you just heard? Let us know on Twitter at Rancors_Brothel or send us a message on Facebook at the Rancors Brothel page. Want more content? Subscribe to our podcast on any major platform or visit rancorsbrothel.com for hundreds of other RPG actual play podcast episodes. Enjoy sharing memes and talking nerdy? Hit up other listeners on the Fans of the Rancors Brothel Facebook page. Thanks for listening. Keep circulating the tapes.